from Ozarks First. You're watching Kolr 10 News at 6.
Our top story tonight at 6. A Springfield man who police say was high on meth when he caused a deadly crash in 2021 was never charged until now.
65-year-old Gary Calhoun Jr. is accused of running a red light, killing 2 people. He's now being charged with DWI resulting in death. In 2021, the victim's family sued Calhoun and his insurance company for wrongful death and reached settlements. Last August, nearly a year after the deadly crash, Springfield police pulled over Calhoun for driving high. He's now facing another DWI charge. This week, a warrant was requested for Calhoun's arrest, but a Greene County judge declined, saying it's disingenuous for the state now to say he's a danger to the community after waiting this time to file charges.
A trial is set for a former youth basketball coach in Springfield charged with raping multiple girls. Antoine Looney, Sr., pleaded not guilty to 10 charges, including child molestation, and will face a jury in July. Looney is accused of sexually assaulting at least 6 girls as young as 9 or 10 years old.
The CFO of Tyson Foods is pleading guilty to public intoxication and criminal trespassing after an incident in northwest Arkansas last fall. Fayetteville police arrested John Tyson in November when a woman came home and found him passed out in her bed. Tyson will have to pay $440 in fines.
The Springfield Police Department is warning about a recent increase in identity theft and fraud cases involving fake credit cards. So here's some tips that police have so you can spot a scam. When it comes to emails or text messages, be cautious about clicking on any links. Be suspicious of unsolicited calls, and if someone asks you to buy gift cards or pay for something in Bitcoin, police say it's a scam. Last but not least, never give out any personal information over the phone.
Voters will decide whether or not to approve a public safety tax that will be used to help the Kimberly City Police Department. Proposition PD is a half-cent sales tax estimated to bring in about $300,000 a year. All the money will be used for new equipment and vehicles for the police department. It will also help recruit and retain officers. This comes after the Kimberly City Chief of Police and every other officer resigned in 2021 for new opportunities or better paying jobs. The new police chief says this sales tax is about keeping the community safe.
Since I've been sworn in last November, we saw that we needed more police officers, we needed more equipment, and we needed more funding. And based off of the population that we have here, we should have 7 full-time police officers. We only have 6 by budget.
Voters will see the question on the April ballot, and there will be presentations to the public leading up to the election.
Happening now, area hospitals are still struggling to find and keep EMTs after nearly a third of paramedics nationwide left the field during the pandemic. Citizens Memorial Hospital in Bolivar is now trying to find new ways to get people to consider the career. Kolr 10's Ashley Eddy is live after finding out what steps are being taken to make sure people have someone there in an emergency.
Well, the hospital is trying to make it easier for people to get involved, like students over at Bolivar High School.
We did get word that there were some high school students interested in coming to our academy that was done in the fall. Our senior leadership decided that, since there is a shortage of EMTs and paramedics, that we would go ahead and pay for their class for them to be in it.
The director of EMS with Citizens Memorial Hospital says the lack of people going into the field is really starting to impact his team. While he says it isn't affecting keeping the community safe quite yet, he doesn't want it to get to that. A full-force effort is being made to recruit the younger crowd, including 3 from Bolivar High School who are currently taking the steps to become EMTs. The students say the coursework isn't always easy, but they want to help others.
For me, it's always been something I wanted to do. So I just got the opportunity and I took it.
There's a lot of thinking that goes into just driving the truck too, because if you have the sirens on and you have to drive through stop signs and everything, you have to make sure that, you're not going to put your life at risk or other people's at the same time.
The hope is that more students from across the area might see the girls and also think about going down the same path. Reporting in Bolivar, Ashley Eddy, Ozarks First.
Now, an update on the widespread power outages across northern Arkansas. There are still more than 30,000 customers in the dark after Tuesday's storm. The counties in red on your screen feature the most outages. Crews are working to restore power as quickly as they can. Still could be a little while longer. Now let's check in with meteorologist Savannah Tennyson for our first look at our forecast and our first look at a weekend forecast.
Yeah, it is going to be cold tonight, but the good news is we are going to be thawing out as we head into tomorrow and Saturday before we go right back down the roller coaster and it gets cold again. So enjoy it while we have it. Right now we have those clouds. We are going to be staying calm and quiet as we head into our overnight hours. However, temperatures sitting at like 30 here in Springfield, 28 over in Fort Wood and 25 in Rolla. But because of the sustained winds between 10 and 20 miles an hour, we're feeling more like 23 here in Springfield, 16 up in Rolla, and 28 over in Fort Wood. So it is going to be a very, very cold night on tap. But again, we're going to be thawing out as we head into tomorrow and Saturday coming up. I'll have the details you should know. Bailey and Steve.
If you talk to people outside the state of Missouri, the Missouri is a dangerous state.
State lawmakers want to appoint a special prosecutor to certain parts of the state, like here in Springfield, to help reduce crime rates.
Originally, the bill started out targeting the St. Louis Circuit Attorney's Office concerning thousands of unprosecuted cases. But now the plan is to have a special prosecutor appointed by the governor for every 35 homicide cases per 100,000 people in the state, and not everyone is on board.
We're deeply concerned that this bill overrides the will of voters and may strip the criminal justice system of prosecutorial independence.
And there are roughly 200 Missourians a year dying in St. Louis. Now, I don't have to live in St. Louis to care about that. Public safety to me is about protecting the public, and largely that's preventative.
Besides more prosecution, some say crime is also due to a lack of resources. And the Chamber of Commerce says with Missouri in the top 10 in the nation for violent crime, it's also an issue for economic competitiveness.
All right, here's video of a man intentionally driving his truck through the lobby of a police station in Colorado. Look at that. The surveillance comes from the Grand Junction Police Department, showing that truck right through the front doors and into the lobby. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. The 45-year-old man was arrested right there in the police station. He's now facing several charges, including attempted murder. A controversial new law banning assault weapons in Illinois is heading to the courts. The National Rifle Association is helping with the filing of a federal lawsuit against the state's ban, claiming it violates the Second Amendment and unfairly targets gun owners. This comes as many sheriffs in the state say they won't enforce the ban. Illinois Senator Dick Durbin responded by saying if they won't follow the law, sheriffs should resign. More local news tonight at 6. Hillcrest High School will look much different to alumni and families after undergoing renovations paid for with money from the bond issue that voters approved back in 2019. Kolr 10's Sydney Moran is live at Hillcrest tonight, giving us a look inside. Sydney?
Well, Steve, we're standing inside roughly $36 million of renovations, and families can see those as soon as you walk through the front door.
We got together and we looked at what are our needs here at Hillcrest. And so we actually sat through and went through a full design plan of what we needed. Like, for example, like I said, our secure vestibule, instead of the office entry being across the student center, we wanted it at the front door. Lots of those types of things began to happen.
Parts of Hillcrest High School dated back to the 1950s. The last new addition to the school was the storm shelter cafeteria back in 2010. Now funding from Prop S allowed for new locker rooms, a connection from the hyper gym to the main building, and teacher collaboration spaces. With phase 1 of Prop S complete, SPS is now proposing phase 2. Voters will vote on the $220 million bond issue in April. Now, the plans for phase 2 are very similar to the plans from phase 1, but at different schools.
The 2023 proposed Proposition S projects would include renovating Pershing School, a new Pipkin Middle School, new Reed Middle School, safety and security measures for all of our campuses, including not only protective film on first 4 locations, but also alarms and sensors, and then also 6 storm shelters at 6 of our elementary campuses.
The Hillcrest principal says there's just a few finishing touches left here at Hillcrest before everything is officially complete. Reporting in Springfield, Sydney Moran, Ozarks First.
Artificial intelligence can be helpful when it comes to education, but it's also making it harder for teachers to know if students are using it to pass a class. A computer science professor at MSU said he tested a new popular AI program called ChatGPT to see how it could complete an assignment. He says the work was pretty good, but it did have errors and was not an A+ paper. To combat the use of AI in schools, the professor suggests teachers have students complete essays during class, and once they turn it in, then use a software that can detect plagiarism.
A new clothing line is apparently able to trick artificial intelligence into thinking you're not human. Clothing startup company Capable created a line motivated to protect people's privacy. Wearing their clothes can fool AI-powered facial recognition into thinking you're an animal, not a human being. It prevents any AI-powered camera from collecting physical characteristics. The price tag on these clothes ranging anywhere from $450 to more than $500.
Still ahead at 6, the rivalry between the Chiefs and the Bengals is heating up before Sunday's big game.
Coming up, how Chiefs players are reacting to some trash talk. Can you believe that? From the other team. And the sunshine started, the snow melt today, but warmer weather the next 2 days will make even more headway with that snow on your lawn. Savannah's weekend forecast is coming up next.
The Outdoor Forecast is sponsored by Don Vance Auto Group. Upfront pricing, down home service.
News Nation comes your way each night with the latest coverage. Here's a preview of what's coming up tonight.
Tonight on Dan Abrams Live. GOP Congresswoman Lauren Boebert joins us. I want to know if Hunter Biden's potential influence on his dad is now being investigated. Shouldn't the GOP also investigate the business dealings of the Trump children? And is it really pro-law enforcement to bash the FBI? That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
Tonight on Banfield, her lawyer is now representing the man accused of killing her daughter. More of my exclusive interview with Kara Kernodle and how this conflict of interest came about in Idaho. Plus, I'll ask her if Brian Kohberger should face the death penalty. That's tonight on Banfield on News Nation.
You can find News Nation Prime on these channels or check your local listings.
And now weather with meteorologist Savannah Tennyson, certified by Weather8 for the most accurate forecast in the Ozarks.
Well, the first half of January, we started out more like April conditions. Now, as we end January, things are well below average for this time of year. Here in Springfield today, we topped out at 31 degrees, and that was only for a few minutes. We've been riding on 30 degrees since about 1 o'clock this afternoon, and here in Springfield, still riding at 30 degrees. We still have that snow on the ground. It is cold out there. West-southwest winds at 7 miles an hour, and those winds are going to continue to pick up as we head into our overnight hours, making it feel more like the teens as you wake up on your Friday. As we head into tonight, we are going to continue to stay calm, cloudy as well. The sun will be coming back out, though, as we head into Friday. Timing all this out for you as you wake up at 7 a.m. Yes, we will have a few clouds here and there, mainly north of I-44. Throughout the day, sunshine continuing, but we will still be contesting with a few clouds as we head into the afternoon hour. So unlike today, we're going to be seeing the sun almost all of tomorrow. Temperatures tonight still cold, 25 degrees here in Springfield, 24 up in Lake Ozark with that south wind at 5 to 15 miles an hour. Then as we head into tomorrow, yes, temperatures look warmer. However, those winds are going to be kicking up from the southwest at 15 to 20 miles an hour. So that's going to make it feel more like the low 40s, upper 30s throughout tomorrow. We're going to be topping out 47 degrees here in Springfield, 50s though as you head down into Branson, Harrison, over in Fayetteville. Then things start to get interesting as we head into Saturday night into Sunday morning. To start off Saturday, cloudy skies north of I-44, then more clouds in the afternoon. Here's 8 p.m. So we're going to have some rain showers along I-44. Then we're going to be seeing a wintry mix for our far northern counties as we head into Sunday morning before they finally move out of our region. Now, I don't think there's going to be that much to impact with these because limited moisture is in the atmosphere. Temperatures on Saturday, 52 degrees here in Springfield, south winds at 15 to 25 miles an hour. So again, another windy day across the region, and that's because that's our next system that's going to be coming in and wiping these 50s out of the 7-day forecast just in time for Sunday. 34 degrees here in Springfield, 33 up in Lake Ozark, and 33 over in Joplin. Northeast winds 10 to 20 miles an hour, feeling more like the 20s throughout the day. And if you're heading up to Arrowhead Stadium, well, good for you is all I gotta say, because kickoff 24 degrees feels like 12 degrees. And then as we head into halftime, 22 degrees, feeling more like a very, very cold 10 to 9 degrees. And things are going to continue to tumble down because it's going to be nighttime by that. Northeast winds at 10 to 15 miles an hour is all thanks to those wind chill values being so cold. Now, temperatures are going to be well below average as we head into next week. Then we have a second round for potential rain, freezing rain Monday night, and that's going to be transitioning into a snowy mix as we head into Tuesday. So a lot to happen as we head into next week. Very active pattern. Then the sun finally returns as we head into next week. Here is your 7-day forecast. Cloudy skies on Sunday, 34 degrees, 30 as we head into Monday. Late snow is going to be possible with that wintry mix as we head into Tuesday. 28 degrees topping out, 32 for the first day of February. And boy, is it going to be a cold start to the month, guys.
All right, Savannah, Tuesday's event was a major snow event. We're going to have more of those. And that's a problem for senior citizens who can't get out because they rely on meal deliveries. And when there's a snowstorm like Tuesday, it can make things complicated.
We spoke with folks at the Southside Senior Center in Springfield about how they prepare for winter weather.
And then our home delivered meals, we have already planned ahead for that. And so we have a box of, we call it shelf stable meals. And so when our drivers can't get out and deliver to them, then they already have meals.
When bad weather is in the forecast, the seniors get extra food ahead of time, and each box contains enough for 6 to 7 meals. And that is enough to get them until drivers can safely get back on the roads for routine deliveries.
All right, as temperatures drop in the wintertime, a lot of people turn to space heaters and fireplaces to stay warm. But space heaters in particular can be very dangerous, even deadly if you're not careful. They account for about 1/3 of home heating fires and about 80% of those deaths, according to the National Fire Protection Association. You're advised never to plug in a space heater into a power strip and not to overload outlets. And remember to turn it off if you leave home or go to bed. Also recommended is keeping anything flammable at least 3 feet away from any heating appliances.
Coming up in sports, lots of chatter coming from Cincinnati this week.
Yeah, I think we all saw it, and those guys are having fun since they won the game.
We'll explore Burrowhead and what the Chiefs think about that next.
And now sports with Dan Lucy.
The Kansas City Chiefs and Cincinnati Bengals will meet Sunday in the AFC Championship game. You can see it right here on Kolr 10 at 5:30. And there's always a lot of trash talk prior to most NFL games, but there's even more so this week. It's a rematch of last year's title game that the Bengals won in KC. Now, at the end of last week's Bengals win over the Bills, Cincinnati cornerback Mike Hilton telling TV cameras he was looking forward to playing the Chiefs at Burrowhead Stadium, noting that his quarterback, Joe Burrow, beat the Chiefs last year at Arrowhead. Obviously, the Bengals feel comfortable at Arrowhead Stadium. Chiefs are taking the chatter with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I think we all saw it, and those guys are having fun since they won the game. But we're going to just let our play on the field speak for us.
It's my second year, and I played in a lot of playoff games, and I kind of feel like that's just the level of intensity that you bring every single week. You got to bring that. You got to have that edge, have that chip on your shoulder if you want to compete and win games and get a chance to play in the Super Bowl.
So they don't get under your skin more?
No, sir.
In Chiefs camp, the majority of the attention continues to be riveted on quarterback Patrick Mahomes' right ankle. Mahomes was at the podium again today speaking to reporters leading up to the AFC Championship game. And, of course, most of the questions concern the high ankle sprain. How's it feeling? What kind of rehab Mahomes is doing? The Chiefs continue to work out at their indoor facility at the Arrowhead Complex, and like Tuesday, the first portion of it was open to the media. Even Mahomes is fascinated by the attention that his foot is getting.
Yeah, I thought I had a good day yesterday. Obviously, it's things you had to work through here and there. But overall, probably better than I expected, being able to go out there and throw the football around and get the reps in that I need to get in. We'll see as we get closer and closer, and we'll see during the game. I mean, you can't fully do exactly what you're going to be in those moments in the game, but all I can do is prepare myself the best way possible. And then when we get in the game, you hope adrenaline kind of takes over and you can make those throws when you need to.
Great Lakes Valley Conference will be adding the Lincoln Blue Tigers out of Jefferson City. The Blue Tigers will move starting in the 2024 fall season. Lincoln had been in the MIAA for 43 years.
Blue Tigers won 16 conference championships, 4 NCAA Division II national championships during those years in the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletics Association. Drury, Southwest Baptist, and Missouri S&T all currently in the GLVC. Mahomes' foot continues to get better and better and better, and the betting line in Vegas continues to move toward the Chiefs because of that.
Yeah. That makes
You may
sense.
see an even more bigger move.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, thanks, Dan. We'll be right back.
Finally, tonight, a funny moment, depending on your perspective. Caught on camera at a police station in Wisconsin. An officer went outside after a recent storm, and when he turned back to open the door, to shut the door, he got completely covered in snow. We're having a good laugh here. He shook it off and kept on going. I'm going to say, what a trooper, but actually he's an officer.
I was preparing for that joke
Sorry.
the whole 30 minutes.
See you at 10.